Hello, my friends. Are you ready for Together Run 15 today? We're going to do a workout. Yep, it's been a little while since we've done one of these, but I think it is about time. So let's get to it. Hi friends, ready to begin yet another Together Run. I'm excited you are here with me, and yeah, let's get started. We're going to begin in 3, 2 and 1. Now it's been a little while since we did a workout, so today I'm going to have a workout option, and I'm just making this up on the spot because I remembered that there's been a few of you actually who have said how much you've enjoyed the workout specifically, and I don't think I've done I think the workout was one of the number 5 or 6 or something, so we've been quite a while since we've done one. So today we'll do another workout. We'll do our usual scan, check in with the surroundings, but we'll do a workout that is going to be a little bit different to the 10 by 1 minute that we did last time. Oh no, it wasn't 10, was it? It was 5 to 7 by 1. Today we're going to do a little cut down triangle. We'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 of hard minutes with 1 to 2 minutes between. I will tell you what those are. And I like doing triangles. Typically, if I was going to do this myself, I would do an up and a down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 would be what I would do, but that's quite long. And as we're doing these as kind of beginner workouts, or at least these aren't supposed to be really intimidating, this is what we're going to do. And again, I'm going to say when we do this, if you do have a coach who has set you a workout for tomorrow, just make sure you check with the coach, basically. I don't want to, A, be getting anyone in trouble, but B, also don't want to just destroy you myself, just because I don't want to do that. So we will begin with our body scan as we normally do. Don't start until I tell you to. But what we're going to do is you're going to work your way through, down your body, starting at the very top of your head. I have a high bun on my head today. My hair's pinned down. And so for me, I have an easy starting point. But for you, you're going to see if you can pay attention, feel the top of your head. We're going to scan our way down. I'll give you some prompts along the way. And we'll see how we feel. Just paying attention to any areas that feel a bit stiff or tight, any areas of tension, and we'll just be working our way down our body, not judging it, just paying attention. And then we'll check in some other times and see how we feel, okay? So let's begin at the top of our head, scanning down through your eyes. Make sure your eyes are relaxed. They're scrunched. Going into your nose, your ears, your jaw. Make sure that jaw is nice and relaxed. Often we hold tension in our eyes and our jaw. Going down into the back of the neck. The muscles of the back of the neck. The front. Going down into the shoulders. Into your arms, upper arms, into your lower arms. Give those arms a shake out if you feel like they need them. And when I say shake them out, I mean literally almost like punch the air. Yeah, and then it will kind of jiggle and do that. And then working your way back through the main part of the body, through the chest, through the stomach, through the muscles of the back, into your hips, into the glutes, into your quads, your hamstrings, your knees, going into the lower leg, the shin and the calf, into the ankle, into your arch and your toes. Anything jump out to you there as tight, stiff, not feeling great? We're not trying to say we need to change anything, and if you do feel a pain somewhere, we're going to pay close attention to that as we go on. Is that a sign that you need to go see a professional or step back a bit with training? Or maybe even for you, it's been bothering you a while and you know this means you shouldn't do this workout today. So you're just going to listen, but you're not going to participate. And maybe for you, that's where you're showing that mental toughness is not through pushing through the workout, but in that restraint of knowing that you could have, but you're choosing to listen to your body. So it's physically, mentally, how are you? How are you doing really? I'm going to give you a little bit of time there to just really answer that question in your head. And then imagine you are just telling me everything about how you're feeling. And I'll tell you about myself in just a minute. Okay. Thank you for telling me in your head. Thank you for the honesty and for the vulnerability of allowing yourself to think about that question. So often we flip through our day and people will ask a version of that question. They don't really want the answer. And let's be honest, sometimes we don't want the answer if we're on a rush, running late to get somewhere, and you see someone and you maybe feel like you don't have the time to talk for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So we all do it, but I really believe it's important to get away from, as much as we can, that culture of doing that. Yes, okay, the cashier at the register. You don't want to be pouring out all your troubles to someone who you see on your run who says good morning. You're not going to stop and tell them everything. But here, right now, and when those in our lives ask us, I want to intimately answer that and be honest. I do that a lot, and I find that when I do that, people share they're honest with me, and it feels good. Develops that bond. So, in the spirit of what I just said, how am I feeling? Relieved, hurt, I don't really know what words to use. I guess saddened, whatever the opposite of hopeful is, which I know isn't what you expected to hear from me. And it's not that I don't have hope in every area. I have a lot of hope in a lot of areas of my life, but about 20 minutes ago, as of this recording, I woke up and saw that the US has issued a do not travel to UK warning. And so that's put the nail in my coffin for my going to see my parents, my family, my friends, going to 2 of my closest friends' weddings. And that hurts. I mentioned relieved first because I had been really struggling with thinking about making the decision myself, because it was looking like it was going to be left to my good judgment, and whether I would just go by myself, take both girls, which anyone who has a 1-year-old, or anyone who has a kid, 1 year old is the hardest age to travel with, and adding in a 3-year-old, I mean, that would have been tough. Let's put it that way. Or whether to take one, being Chloe, but then what damage would that do to Bailey? And, choosing not to go see my family when I haven't seen them in closing in on 2 years. So, relieved that Biden made that decision, as much as I, didn't want it to be that answer. It's what it needed to be, and now I can make peace with it and trust. I know that he's doing what's right for America, and I am not an American citizen, but I live here. That was the choice I made, and I'm glad he's doing what's right for the country. But it still hurts. So I'm trying to process that a little bit. And there you go. That's the real raw answer as it happens. All right. So next we're going to begin our check-in with our surroundings, with our senses. So why don't we go ahead, take a nice deep breath. What do you smell? What do you taste? If you need to take another deep breath, go ahead and do it. All right, and then for the next bit, I want you to take your headphones out and listen to what you hear. What noises around you can you hear? Okay, anything different? Something that's a unique noise? Something that you have around you but forget to pay attention to. One of the beautiful things about doing this exercise is that it makes us listen, pay attention to things that we otherwise just assume as normal. Okay, feel. What sensations do you feel in your body? Is it you feel the hardness of the ground below you as the shockwaves go up your body? Is it the sweat dripping down your face? Is it the gentleness of your hand touching the other palm, touching the palm of your hand? If it's fingernails, maybe just shake out your arm a little bit if it's digging in. What is it that you feel on your body right now and inside? And finally, what do you see? Look to your left. Look all around, up and down. Obviously, if you're safe to do so. What do you see over there? Try and find something you haven't seen before. We're a little bit further along in the run as we normally would. So even if you do the same run every day, you should be in a slightly different point. Okay, go to the diagonal or closer to looking forward. What do you see there? Anything jumping out? Anything you can hone in on? Focus your eyes and pick out from what you see. For me, I see a house that's got some kind of cool modern paint job that looks like the brick underneath is showing through slightly. Looks pretty cool. And look forward. Look up and down. Find something to hone in on in the distance. Notice some details about that thing as you come in closer to it. And to your right, on a diagonal, what is it you see there? Again, try and pick some details or hone in on something different as you pass it. And finally to the right, what do you see there? I'd love to hear, by the way, if you upload your photo or you send it to me, what it is you noticed about the seeing part. What was the different thing you saw today that you wouldn't normally pay attention to? I'd love to hear. Okay, we are going to begin our workout in about a minute and a half. Probably, why don't we pause here and let's take a picture of you with your surroundings. Doesn't matter what you see, not trying to win any awards here, not trying to impress anyone. Chances are if we were to go for a run together, it probably wouldn't be a really fancy, amazing view. So I'd love to see where we would be running if we were physically together right now. So take a picture. And if you want, you could also take a video for me so I can hear the sounds that are different to what I hear. Take that picture and that video if you like. Ready to get started again? 3, 2, 1. Okay. We're going to begin our workout in 1 minute and 20 seconds. As I said, we're going to start with the 5. And because it's 5 minutes, it's not supposed to be really intense, and we're going to have to be really careful here, because if you burn yourself out on this 5, there's no going back. And so it's important that you remain calm, just picking up the pace. If you want to do it by effort scale, we're going to go to about a 5 or a 6 out of 10. And this isn't supposed to be a hands on your knees workout. This is just us picking up the pace together, and just having a bit of fun with it. Yeah? Okay. So we've got about 20 seconds. Going to pick up the pace, and you'll have 90 seconds after the 5 minutes before we begin the 4 minutes. Okay? So, actually, no, I'm going to be cruel. We're going to have a minute between, okay? Even more just to keep easy. All right, off we go. So, remember, I'm not supposed to be sprinting here, just picking it up. You should feel comfortable. This should be the kind of effort where you feel actually quite strong. If you were to do just the 1, you would say, wow, I feel pretty strong doing this. You want to feel good at this point, and in this rep, just picking up the pace. I always find it hard not to run through the sprinklers when it's when I have this in my hand. I love sprinkler chasing in the summer, although usually times where they're just in the wrong place, right? Or at least it does for me. Nice and relaxed. Okay, I'm going to do a turnaround here, just to show you again. Doesn't really matter. We're not trying to sprint, get the best time, or see who runs the furthest. We're just picking up the pace together, doing a bit of a hard effort. But this one isn't meant to be the one that you are going hard. This is just a moderate effort. Nice work. Let's not look down at our wrist or your clock. I will warn you, we have a minute to go, and then again, somewhere between 30 and 15 seconds to go. Just relax into it. And if you want to think of it, if you're having trouble conceptualizing what this means, you should be saying, you'd be a little bit more dialed than I am, able to say short sentences of maybe 3 to 5 words. That's it. Which I guess is kind of what I'm doing. Doing great. Stay relaxed. Shake those arms out if you need to. Do what I said earlier. Punch the air. Shake them out. And just staying nice and relaxed. Doing great. If you are, I think you might have gone a little bit fast. Back off a little bit. It's okay. If you haven't done workouts like this, it's not a big deal if you start a little fast. Most people do. Stay relaxed. And everyone gets shorter. Right, 1 minute to go. You got this. This is the longest one. Stay in it. Stay with me. Great work. Doing awesome. Right, 15 seconds to go. Hold it together. Nice work. All right, slow to a jog. Should be going really slowly right now. I've only got a minute. It doesn't matter if people could walk faster than you. You want to be basically jogging on the spot, running multiple minutes slower than you were just there. Nice and easy. If you are doing a 30-minute run, you will do this one, you'll finish it with us, and then that final minute recovery will be your final minute of just a jog. And then I'd recommend maybe doing another 5 minutes walking, jogging, if you are going to cut out there. All right, are we ready to begin the 4-minute effort? In 3, 2, and 1. Again, stay away from the watch, don't look. I will tell you when it's time to, when we are at 1 minute to go. And again, somewhere in that last minute, you don't need to look at your watch. Especially don't need to look at pace. Just turning the dial just a little bit faster than last time. But the person watching, someone sees you going by, they would never be able to notice. Just a tiny bit. This one can be a bit psychologically tough. It's got a long way to go, but 4 minutes can feel like a long time. So just stay engaged, stay relaxed, and ask yourself, am I doing the best I can for this 4-minute interval? Because that's all you can do, right? If I didn't say go all out for this 4 minute, are you doing the best you can at the 4-minute effort? Ask yourself this now. Well, I'm asking you. If the answer is yes, great. If your answer is sandbagging a little bit, I'm scared, that's okay. I'd rather you do it that way. If your answer is probably going a little fast, just back off. No shame here. Doesn't matter about pace. We're just doing this together to be a part of a community. Do a community workout, that's all. Stay engaged. Stay with me. And it doesn't have to be, I say stay with me, about my pace. Again, doesn't matter. And think about treadmills. We could be doing this on a treadmill. We'd be running next to each other. Okay, so let's stay positive and trusting. You're doing great. And if this is really different to what you've done before, then even more grace. This is a bit different. We're over halfway, so stay positive. just a little bit faster. It's going to be starting to dig in a bit now, feeling it a little more. It's okay. The next one is 3 minutes. So in the next one, you'll be coming up to done, right? So you can do this. 1 more minute. Keep it up. You're doing awesome. Great work. Keep it going. You're doing great. You've got 30 seconds to go. Hustle. Stay with it. Whatever pace you're at, now is not the time to back off. Keep it up. Great work. Nice work. And come to a jog. Again, a very slow jog. If you are doing 30 minutes, you can take this 1 minute we're recovering, and then you can come to a walk or jog for a few more minutes while we're on the 3 minutes, and you're done. Great work. Be sure you check one of the check-ins around to, pay attention to how you're feeling, how you're doing before you go off. And if you could go leave a rating and review on iTunes and go subscribe to this podcast, that will really help me out, all of you. No sponsor today, just want to remind you of that, okay? All right, and off we go. 3 minute interval. Again, I'm going to crank the dial just a little bit more. This one is probably going to be tough, and that's okay. We want this to be tough. It's a hard workout after all, but you can do this. I'm here with you, and try and pick a pace you can hold. See what feels right. Remember, all you want to be asking yourself is, does this feel right in your body, not in your pace? Does this feel right for a 3 minute interval? If the answer is yes, great, just keep it up. If the answer's I've gone too fast, back off a tiny bit. And if the answer is not enough, crank it down a little bit. That said, if you think you've gone out too fast, like I said, this is going to be a tough one, okay? It's meant to be. So don't back off when you don't need to. If you are feeling okay, you should be breathing a little hard at this point, a little harder than I am, but I'm making sure I can maintain talking to you. So keep focused. You got this. One minute to go. Stay strong. No backing down now. Whatever pace you are at, keep with it. Yep. Even if you're burning out a little bit, keep fighting. Stay strong. You got this. Stay tough. Nice work. Keep it up. You are doing awesome. 20 seconds to go. Keep it up. Hold it together. You're doing great. And slow to a jog. Slow as you need to go. This really doesn't matter. This is all about recovery. Give your arms a shake. Punch the air again. Loosen your eyes and your jaw. Again, you should be going very slowly on this recovery. Nice and easy. All we've got left is a 2 minute, and I promise you that 1 minute will go by. So just focus on this 2 minute. Forget about the 1 minute for now. All you're doing is making sure the effort is there for the 2 minute. Okay? 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, and 1. 2 minute interval. You got this. You've already done 12 minutes of this workout. All you've got left is 2, less than 2 now. So stay strong in this one. And again, am I doing the best I can for this 2 minute interval? It's all you want to ask yourself. Make sure you are pushing yourself here, because the minute you will be able to do. Promise you. So stay with it. Nice work. Doing awesome. Keep those quick feet. Not trying to take big steps. 1 minute to go. You're not trying to take big steps. You're trying to have bigger cadence that will propel you forward. Great job. Hold it together. This is where it gets really tough. But stay with it. You can do this. Doing this group workout together. Imagine we're all around you. Pushing you. Cheering you on. Keeping you going. If you want to envision another community member running your exact pace, go for it. That's it, nice and strong. Nice and strong. 15 seconds. Hold it together. Keep it going. Awesome. And come to a jog. Nice, easy jog. Barely moving if you need to. Shouldn't say if you need to. That's what I normally do. Barely moving. Someone could walk past you. That's fine. Doesn't matter. All we've got left is 1 minute of hard. We want to give it our best. And then we can walk around the rest of the day with the satisfaction of knowing we did something for our health, for our wellness, for our body, for our mind, and just for us, for the community too. Okay, 10 seconds to go. 1 minute, that's it. Hold it together, okay? You got this, friends. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Last minute. No holding back now, just go for it. You got this. Keep on focusing ahead. Eyes up. Nice work. Eyes ahead. Focus on where you're going. Dig down. You can do this. You can do this. Nice work. 15 seconds. Come on, finish strong. Finish strong. Nice work. Keep it up all the way through. I'll tell you when it's time. And come to a walk. Yep. I said a walk. I always do a walk after a workout. Let your watch keep going. Go on, you can do it. Let your watch keep going. Mine's still going. Tick, tick, tick. 39:18. Just give ourselves 1 minute of walk. That's okay. Yeah, you've done a hard workout. And it's okay. Even if you're doing an easy one, just walk with us for 30 seconds, okay? Well done. Great job. Great job. Great effort. And well done for getting out here to do it. It's not easy to do. You could have accidentally on purpose not seen this together run, whatever. You did it. So well done. All right, and we're going back into a jog. If you need a slow jog for a few minutes, that's fine. Do whatever feels right for you. Just make sure you are kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. If you need a few more minutes of that barely moving, do it. Well done. Workout goes so much faster, doesn't it? Already at 30, or already at 40 minutes. So 45-minute group, you have less than 5 minutes. All right, so let's do another body scan check-in, okay? So while we're doing this, see if you can feel your heart beating or your hot face, whatever. Let's see what you pay attention to on your body scan, okay? I'm going to start at the top of the head, scanning down through your eyes. Relax your eyes if you're squinting. Through your ears, your jaw, going into the back of the neck muscles, those muscles under your head. How do they feel? Into the front of the neck, into the front of the shoulders, going out to the back of the shoulders, going down your arm. You're holding your arms tense, in which case shake them out. Your fingers relaxed, going back into the torso. Relax your stomach if you're holding it tense, going into your hips, your glutes, your hamstrings and quads. How are things feeling? Going into your knees, your calf, your shin, ankles, arch of your foot and toes. How's everything feeling now compared to where we started? If you were at more pain in one area in specific than you were before, definitely encourage you to go get that checked out by a medical professional. And if you are feeling pretty good, great. If you are feeling a little tight in areas from the workout, that's okay. But overall, you should be feeling a bit more relaxed. As you've warmed everything up, got it moving, and now we're having a nice slow recovery jog. Okay, what about mental? How are you feeling? Any different to before? Anything you've worked out? Probably not, because I've been talking the whole time. Anything that doesn't seem so important as it did when you left for your run just now? Running has this beautiful ability of being able to just make us see what matters let go of things and work through things. By the way, I'm looking to my right. There's a beautiful like red sun coming up. It's like one of those ones where it's like you just about look at it, but it's like bright red. It's pretty cool. For me, still disappointed. Maybe it's not as raw as it was a little while ago. I know I can find some silver linings here. And yeah, feeling better. If you are in the 45-minute group, you're going to come to a walk in about 30 seconds, and you're welcome to continue on with us the last 15, or you can jog it in. Can you please leave a rating and review on whatever podcast player you use? Go use Spotify. If you follow the podcast. And if you could go support me on Patreon, that'd really make a difference and show how much you appreciate these runs. I'll put a link to Patreon in the show notes for this 45-minute group. You are good to go. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your reviews, your subscribing, for your sharing. When you share, that shows other people. Loads of you have been passing these along to other people, and that helps me to grow. That helps my future opportunities. So thank you. But yeah, if you're not comfortable sharing your picture online, which I know quite a lot of you aren't, that's okay. I love seeing them when you send them to me separately. But if you could go subscribe, review, and share it just personally with people you know, that would be much appreciated. If you want to add this podcast to to your family members' podcast app, if they won't notice, leave a review there. You can do that too. No, shouldn't do that. That's fraud, right? Probably not. I don't know. All right, thank you for joining me, 45-minute group. See you I'll see you, Friday for another podcast. And if you missed Malcolm Gladwell last Friday, go listen to that. I honestly think it's my best interview yet. So, love hear your thoughts. All right, thank you. Okay, got 13 and a half minutes to go. What should we talk about? What would you be telling me about if we were running together right now? What would you be sharing? Yeah, think about it, really. Maybe you could tell me that, whatever it is, through a message. Or maybe you could just imagine it. There are a lot of people out this morning. They're running at the same time I always do. I've seen like 4 times the amount of people I normally see. A bit strange, but makes me look a bit more crazy. But that's okay. I was listening to a podcast with Lin-Manuel Miranda and his dad. I think his name was Louis something Miranda, and it was really cool. It was on Adam Grant's podcast, the TED podcast with Adam Grant. And while Adam was sticking to a script, which was kind of annoying, because if you're obsessed with Adam Grant like I am, you kind of know his personality enough to know what he would, the way he would be asking, and you can kind of tell, as it's a TED podcast, that it's pretty scripted. But really interesting nonetheless, and especially loved the dynamic between Lynn and his dad, and getting to hear what Lynn was like, growing up, and the things that kind of hinted at the way he was It's pretty cool. And also to hear the other end of it, of what things his dad felt were important, what things they disagreed on, and to this day disagree on. And well worth a listen if you have some extra time. That said, I know we're all pressed for time right now. We're all struggling to keep up with the 50 million podcasts and work that people are putting out. I know for me, there's so many shows I want to listen to, but I just can't seem to get to it. And I know that's the case for some of you, probably with the main episodes of Running for Real. You probably aren't able to get to those. And as much as that makes me a bit sad to think about, and it's not just thinking about it, I can see it too, because you think it's just you, but it's not. Let's just say there's a lot of people who are maybe doing other things, and honestly that hurts, because of course there's that inner critic in me that says people aren't interested in you, you're not interesting, you're doing the same old thing, no one cares. But for the most part, I'm able to work around that voice and say, well, if people aren't listening to me, then they must have something that's speaking to them more, and that's okay. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and trusting that I'm following my heart, which I am. And then there's the other side of it that, maybe it is people are bored of my show. But you know what? I care more about you as a human being happy, healthy, feeling good about yourself, doing what is best for you, than I care about that. And I know that's not what I should say, because, if my numbers go down, maybe my opportunities go down, who knows? But for me to put my head and go to sleep on the pillow and sleep at night, I want to put you first. And that's what I try to do with everything I do and everything we do at Running for Real, is not only bring you in to the conversations, to the the things we're thinking of, the projects we're working on, the energy we're putting things into. So trying to bring you in, but also trying to consider what you need, and accepting that sometimes I'm not the one to provide that. Actually, probably quite often I'm not the one to provide that. That's going to be someone else who speaks to you more. Maybe it's a more different tone, like this kind of thing you need right now. Maybe people don't need podcasts at all. And if you're replacing a podcast with a 45-minute meditation, I would say that's better for you. So I do keep that in mind, and I do use it to get my ego around the idea that things are changing. And I know it myself, because, I talk about Brene Brown all the time. I haven't listened to Brene's podcast in probably 2 months, and that's kind of sad. At one point when it first came out, I would have been looking forward to the day it came out, and anything she put out I would gobble up. But it's a reality. It's not that Brene is any less insightful or interesting to me. It's just that it's this time, I don't know, for some reason she hasn't been jumping out at me, or I forget. Primarily, actually, I think, honestly, I forget about the Spotify app. I know a lot of the podcasts are going exclusively there, so I should use that as my podcast player, but I'm still hanging on as an Apple Podcast person. Which is interesting, actually, isn't it? When you look at the politics behind it, like Spotify buying up, paying probably huge sums of money to have these shows only on Spotify to bring people over. But then there's a big chunk of us who, even with that, it's not really working. Like, I might go listen to Obama talking to Dak Shepard, but then next time I need a podcast, I go straight on over to my Apple one rather than Spotify, which has all those plus more. But I don't know, is that habit? Or is it just stubbornness? Like, because we are manipulated in so many ways, we see it. Is it that I know what Spotify is trying to do and I want to rebel? I'm not really sure. Funny thing is, we do pay for Spotify because I use music a lot with the girls. We have music playing all the time, and we decided, we're not really YouTube people, especially with the kids. They don't watch YouTube. So, but we were hearing on YouTube, if we did play anything, ads, or Spotify ads, and I didn't like that part of being knowing that my kids were subconsciously taking in all these ads, so young. So now we pay. So I pay for that app. You would think that I would want to be with that one. And if even iTunes and Apple changed all the format of their podcast, which was not only confusing, but is why I keep talking about subscribing, because if you weren't subscribed, you would have lost all the shows from your feed that you weren't subscribed to. So yeah, off on a tangent there, definitely. But here we are. That's where my random brain went. Well, as I said, I'd love to hear what you would have told me about if we were running together physically, because we are running together. I'm talking to you. Those photos you send me of you on the run, or when we stop, are who I envision on this run and running next to me. So in my head, we're running together. It's just not the physical part. Maybe someday, working on some events that I hope we can get more in-person runs happening and events. And even though as I record this I haven't said it anywhere, for those of you who are 60-minuters, I have a bit of inside information. I'm definitely running Boston as a guide and New York. So if you're doing either of those, you can let me know. And I will be doing events there for sure. So make sure you put those dates, probably the Saturday before Boston and the Friday, or maybe even the Saturday before New York. We'll be doing some events. Knox and I, with Maria, are deep at work with ideas, and it'll be special. We'd love to have you with us. So that's some inside info there. I haven't shared that anywhere yet. And I do have 2 other races on my plan, but as of yet, I haven't 100% decided on them, so I'm not going to say them out. I shouldn't say I haven't decided. I haven't signed up. So until I officially am registered, I don't want to put it out there in case it doesn't happen. But we shall see. All right, friends, we are in 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. Final part. I want to take this moment to thank you for joining me. I want to make sure you upload your picture of you when I asked you to, taking the picture, or if you'd rather take it now when we finish, go ahead. And if you could, go subscribe if you haven't already. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, I'd love to hear, what you would have talked to me about and how you would have told me how you are if you want. But I'd love to hear what you thought of the Malcolm interview. Really, really, really curious there. I loved that style of, almost to me it felt like we were just sitting in a coffee shop. Did you prefer that? Like it less? Really, if you want to share that, if you really enjoyed it, but at least tell me. I'd love to know. It really is interesting to me, especially if you prefer it that way, and I prefer it that way, then why not do it that way? All right, that's it. We are done. 1 hour, 1 workout, imaginary high five. I tried to make a clicking noise, it didn't work. There you go. That was us high-fiving. Thank you for joining me. I shall see you on Monday for another Together Run.
Before we end this episode, I just want to take a moment to shout out my podcast editor, Jeremy Nessel, who has done such a wonderful job of looking after my podcast, taking out all the mishaps in the episodes, while still keeping in the vulnerability and the realness and the rawness of the conversation. This is not one of those podcasts where I take out the ums and the ers and the sometimes the delay in words, because I think it's very important to keep that authenticity. We're surrounded by perfected and manicured everything, and I think it's really important that Running for Real stays that way. So thank you to Jeremy for your work. I also want to thank Maria Vargas and Amber Moore, who are also part of my team. They've been a big part of this community and me being able to build this brand. So just want to give them a shout out too. All right, let's get right back to the end of this episode.
Thanks so much for joining me today. Really appreciate you taking the time to do this, something for yourself, for us connecting. Be sure to upload those photos. I love to see them. And if you could leave a rating and review on iTunes, that would be really helpful, along with subscribing. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you on Friday for another Running for Real episode, and we will have another Together Run next Monday. I'll see you then.